Hey there, I'm Othmar and I, a wildlife and landscape photographer from Austria. I live in a small town right in the middle of the Alps, and well, this is gonna be my first YouTube video because, well, we are living in a special situation now, so I think everybody is kind of out of work. They're looking for something else to do. So yeah, I'm gonna try this YouTube thing. Uh, I don't really have much experience with standing in front of the camera, so this is gonna be one of those first weird YouTube videos that I may look back in a few years and be really ashamed of, but well, you gotta start sometime. So I wanna tell you a bit more about me. As I said, I live in this nice region in the middle of the Alps in Austria, and I have been doing photography since since I was about 8 or 9 years old. Back then, I still had a point and shoot camera, and I was just shooting macro photography of little plants and stuff that we have growing here in my region. I wasn't really trying to do it professional in any way back then, but I was kind of fascinated by nature all my life, so that's what brought me more and more towards photography. And after a while, I bought a better camera and better lenses, of course, and I got more and more into it. So I don't know when, but I think it was when I went with my dad to Spain the first time. He has a car where we can sleep in the back. It's like a van, I think it's in English. And we put a mattress in there, a really nice one, and we can sleep there pretty cozily. So, yeah, we went to Spain, and I was really fascinated by all the birds that we saw there, and we saw vultures and really big birds that we don't really have in that form here. I mean, we do have eagles, but you kind of never see them, and they're not as heavy as vultures. So it was a pretty special experience for me. And back then, I was mostly just taking photos of birds and taking photos in general when I was on trips with my dad. So we often went to Burgenland, for example, which is to the Seewinkel, which is a region in Austria near a lake, which is very shallow and which has a lot of wetlands around it. So obviously there are a lot of wading birds there, especially when it's migrating season. So that's how I did nature photography in the past, and especially bird photography in the past. But because of the current situation, I'm at home again in my home region, and I'm learning more and more to evaluate how wildlife is here, because it's a lot different. It's a lot kind of wilder because there are really few people around here, and there are quite a few places here that are still like really wild nature, where maybe a human passes by every 5 years or so. So animals don't really know humans, and they're pretty much quite a lot shyer than they are where I've usually been. So that's a totally new experience for me. But there are also the birds here are really different from what I'm used to. We have a lot of typical mountain birds, like black grouse or capercaillies or hazel grouse, which I really love because they have such a cool feather. They have such cool feathers with such amazing colors, and I really have been wanting to take a photo of one since I think half a year now, or maybe even longer. But they are super shy. Like, they are super shy and they're super well camouflaged. So you have to wait a long time in the forest for them. But actually, I have heard one a while ago when I was hiking on a mountain, and as soon as I heard it, I don't know. I'm sure quite a few nature, like people with interest in nature, are watching this video here. If many people are watching it even, but if you're watching it, you're probably into nature. So I was hiking, and I suddenly heard the hazel grouse, and I immediately, like, my my brain immediately was focused on it. And yeah, from you can hear a few birds even here, because I'm sitting in the middle of a beautiful mire. So back to the hazel grouse story. So yeah, I mean, I have been trying to take photos of it. I have put a game camera in the forest where I know it is, and I have even a nice video of it. Maybe I can show it now. It's just a really short 8 or 9 second clip. So yeah, you just saw that clip of the small hazel grouse woman or female, um, looking for stuff to eat on the ground. And yeah, unfortunately, I haven't been able to take photos of it yet, but I'm sure I will take you on that adventure. It will be, yeah, it will be quite adventurous, because it takes a long time, and especially with birds as rare as those ones, you're when you hear something, you get really nervous, and your heart starts beating a lot when you hear something cracking in the forest. So I will try to capture my emotions as well as I can when I'm off searching it for it again. Well, and what I also started doing since I've been here is I've been trying to take more photos of mammals, because we have a lot of mammals here. We have weasels, we have ermines, we have foxes, we have chamois, we have roe deer, we have red deer, pretty much all we have badgers, of course. So pretty much all mammals that you can find in an alpine environment, we have them. So because I mean, I told you I'm here now for because of the current situation. So that's why I'm trying to photograph them more often, and I think they're really interesting, because in contrast to birds, they have a how do I say it? They have more of a personality, and they have a different sort of intelligence. Like, when you're trying to photograph a bird, you're just trying not to be seen by it, because you know, as soon as it sees you, it just flies away. It doesn't care if you're maybe a predator that could be dangerous for him, or if you're just nothing, if you're just a small guy walking around in the forest. They don't care. They just fly away. And I think with mammals it's really different. They really look at you, and they analyze what could you be, and then they judge if they will run away or not. So that's what I think is really interesting about them. So yeah, I mean, as I said, I will try photographing them more often. I will try taking you on as much adventures as I can. I currently only have one camera, so it will be a bit weird filming for me. Like, before there was a squirrel jumping towards me, and it came really close, and unfortunately I was preparing the video, so I only had the 24 to 70 millimeter lens on. And yeah, well, I was really enjoying the moment, but I couldn't take photos of it, unfortunately. So yeah, I'm gonna take you on a few of my adventures, and if you have any questions about my photography, or if you want to know anything more about me, or if something that I talked about made you curious about me, just drop me a comment down below and tell me what you're interested in, maybe. Yeah. So yeah, I hope you bared with me this long and watched my weird first video, and yeah, hopefully you liked it, and see you next time.